Okay everyone, so for today, let's go work on loops. So we have here task 7. Let's continue with our Python basics here. So we have in programming, loops allows programs to iterate and perform actions a number of times. There are two types of loops. We have for and while loops. So while loops, let's begin by looking at how we structure a while loop. We can have the loop run indefinitely or similar to an if statement, determine how many times the loop should run based on a condition. So this will continue to run until the condition is met, as we have stated here in this statement. So this while loop will run 10 times, outputting the value of the I variable each time it iterates a loop. Let's break this down. So if we try to assign the value, here we assign the value of I. We'll now have a value of 1 that will serve as a bucket. The while statement specifies this is the statement. So if we try to break down the code here, so we have a condition here that the program that we are writing will be running until it reaches or it is greater than the value 10. So currently we have a value 1. So the while statement specifies where the start of the loop should begin. Every time it loops, it will start at the top, outputting the value of I. So that means we will be printing, if we want to output the value of I, we print I. Then it goes to the next line in the loop, which increases the value of I by 1. So that means we are assigning a new value to I here. And let's just arrange the... So we have here I is assigned the value of I plus 1. So until it reaches 10, greater than 10, that's the time that the program will stop. So we have here, then as there is no more code for the program to execute, it goes to the top of the loop, starting the process over again. So meaning there's no more program here, so it will go up here and will be working on running the code again. The program will keep on looping until the value of the I variable is greater than 10. So that means if we try to run this, you would see that we will be displaying 1 to 10 because we started with the number 1 here as the assigned value to the I here. And there we go. We now have, let me just remove this so at least you won't get confused. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I go and put a 0 here, you would see it will start with 0. And another way to write this is actually you using the format like this. I plus operator and equal sign is a shortcut for the first code that we have here, wherein we are assigning a value to the character I here, variable I, and we are also assigning the current value plus 1. And you would see it's the same output once we try to run it. Okay, now for a for loop, it is used to iterate over a sequence such as a list. Lists are used to store multiple items in a single variable and are created using square brackets. Let's learn through the following example. So let's see here. So let's play around with this. So we assign a value to the variable websites, and it's an array 0, 1, 2. For site in websites, print site. So if we try to break down the code above here, this will be running 3 times. It says this will be running 3 times, outputting each website in the list. Let's break this down. So the list variable called websites is storing 3 elements. We have Facebook, Google, and Amazon. The loop iterates through each element, printing out the element. So that's why we have for site in websites. If we try to copy that here, for site in websites, then the program stops looping when it's been through each element in the loop. So we go and try to print this. And if we try to... So to give a real world scenario, you could create a program that checks if a website is online or if an item is in stock. You could loop through the website list, add functionality inside the loop to check the website, and output the results. The Python for Pentesters room shows you how to use Python to enumerate a target, build a keylogger, scan a network, and more. In Python, we can also iterate through a range of numbers using the range function. Below is some example Python code that will print the numbers from 0 to 4. In programming, 0 is often the starting number, so counting 5 is 0 to 4 but has 5 numbers: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have a range function here. But if we try to first run this, and you would see Facebook, Google, and Amazon. So it's running through the list that we have here, and every time this statement execute, it prints the first site, then the second one, and then the third one. Okay, so if we want to maximize the use of the for I in range 5 example here, you would see paste 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you would see it outputted the following here: 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so and remember, we are counting starting from 0. That's why 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's a 5 range here. But most commonly in programming, we usually start counting from 0. The computer usually starts counting from 0, then increment from that, the numbers onwards. On the code editor, click back on the scriptpy.tab and code the loop that outputs every number from 0 to 50. So it's just a simple addition here. We'll need to add 1, of course. And there we go. THM loops while for. Okay, so let's go and paste this and submit. Now let's work on task 8. Next.